We've known each other for, what, almost 3 years now? Shouldn't we be on a first name basis by this point? Anyway, my name's Henry. Nice to meet you. And that's how I'm going to be introducing myself from this point on. So anyway, today I'm going to be doing a review of the new Lion-O 8-inch classic figure. And as some of you might know, there's a new Thundercats TV series that's airing on Cartoon Network. And Bandai has gotten the rights to make the Thundercats action figures. Well, Bandai of America, anyway. And they've made figures for the new Thundercats TV show, but they also are making these classic figures from the original Thundercats cartoon that came out back in the 80s. And this is the first in that series, and this is Lion-O. Just to go over the packaging, you got a nice Thundercats logo up here with the classic subtitle. Nice window display of Lion-O, accessories, Sword of Omens, little Gauntlet, extra hands as well. It says right here on the front 18 points of articulation, but actually there's more than that. I'll get into that when we actually open this guy up. Not much to see on the side. Bandai logo. Kind of nice little thing right here you can scan with your smartphone. Nice illustration of Lion-O on the side, Thundercats Ho. And on the back we get a rundown of just some backstory, posability, accessories, and right now the only two classics figures that Bandai's made are Lion-O and Tigra. I'm really hoping they continue and at least make all of the Thundercats. Personally, I'd be really happy if they made a classic Mom-Ra. And then here you've got some advertisements for the 6-inch figures from the new TV series. And I guess that's just about it. This came out in summer of 2011. Now, before we move on to Lion-O, I do want to make one last comment about the packaging. I always appreciate it when a toy company makes the packaging in such a way that you can take the figure out, play with it, and then put it back in and reseal it. The top of the box just comes off like so. You can slide out the insert, put Lion-O back in, and close the box back up, and I always really appreciate that. But then again, that's just me. Now, in here you're going to get a set of instructions which, in my opinion, are kind of pointless, but for somebody that might not be familiar with Thundercats, I guess they might help. Basically just showing how you can switch out the hands, how you can put the short Sword of Omens inside the Gauntlet, and put the Gauntlet mounted on his belt, and that's pretty much it. Alright, so now let's take a look at this figure. First off, it does look extremely accurate to the TV show, which is a really big plus. I mean, it's just a very, very nice looking figure. The face looks spot on accurate to Lion-O, how he looked in the show, and the colors are very, very accurate, and just everything looks really, really great. And I think Bandai has done a really good job with these Thundercats figures, for one reason at least, because it seems they're focusing on posability and accessories rather than gimmicks. Because a lot of time, like Power Ranger figures, for example, Bandai will focus more on gimmicks, and that's just not the kind of figure I'm into. Some people might go for that, but I would rather focus on just a simple, good action figure rather than trying to make Lion-O's eyes light up or something, and sacrifice, torso articulation just to have his eyes light up or something like that. So I'm really glad that they kept these figures relatively simple. Anyway, as far as articulation goes, I guess we'll get into that first. The head is on a double joint. You got a joint at the base of the head and then a joint at the base of the neck. So you've got lots of down and up, a little bit of side to side, not much, and then you can probably rotate 360. The shoulders are on, not really a ball joint, but pretty much acts like a ball joint. They can go up and down and rotate 360 below the shoulder right there. You've only got a single joint for the elbow, and it's going to give you about 90 degrees. I guess they could have given it a double joint, but I'm not really complaining that much. The wrists are actually on basically the equivalent of Revoltec joints. It's not a Revoltec joint, but it's pretty much the same idea. You've got a little joint right there that can rotate 360 and bend back and forth, and it uses a ball joint on here rather than a peg like Revoltec joints do. And then you get several different sets of hands, which I guess I'll go over with the accessories. You've got a ball joint at mid-torso and a ball joint at the waist, so you've got lots of torso movement. Really, really nice torso movement. And yeah, you can go 360 at the waist. I don't know why you'd need him to, though. You've got this little thingy that the Gauntlet can connect to. That actually comes off. It's just on a peg. The hips have the same joints as the shoulder, so they can go out about 90 degrees and forward. Can't go back very far. You've got 360 below the hips. You got a double jointed knee, which is going to give you not quite 180 degrees, but pretty close. You've got rotation at the boot right here, so that's going to rotate. And then the ankle has got forward and back movement, a little bit of side to side, no rotation at all though. Alright, so let's get into Lino's accessories. I guess the first one we'll do is this Gauntlet, which is removable. You can pop that off. As you can see, that's the same ball joint we looked at over here. And you can simply take one of the spare hands and pop that on there. And there you go. And the Gauntlet actually is pretty nice, despite being just one piece and being kind of simple. Very, very nice gold painting on this thing. I think the gold color looks gorgeous. And it actually has several features, well, quote-unquote features, several ways you can display it. I showed you this earlier. This is like a little plastic tab that hooks onto Lino's belt. It's got the same ball joint on it that you have on the wrists. And down inside that Gauntlet, I'm not sure if you can see it. Anyway, there's a little socket, and that's just going to plug into there. You'll hear it pop into place, and then you can move Lino's arm out of the way. You can peg that onto the belt, and you can be stored like so. Let's see, next up is, of course, the Sword of Omens. Now, you get two different Sword of Omenses. You get the short version. As you can see here, it's got the Eye of Thundera with, if I can zoom in on that, a very nice gold cat's eye effect on there. It would have been nice if they had put some of the blue and like little red jewels painted on there, but overall it does look very, very nice. I am glad that they decided to paint it silver rather than just using that kind of silverish looking plastic. Just having silver paint really, I think, looks very, very nice. Now, another feature of this Gauntlet is that it's got a little slot right there you can see. You can actually take the short version of the Sword of Omens, slide it down in there, and it fits very, very snugly right into place. And this actually is really, really nice. And of course, you can store it on Lino's belt like so. Stored away like that. And you can also store the Sword of Omens in the Gauntlet while it's attached to Lino's arm, which he was known to do in the show on occasion. Now on to the most important accessory, the full-length Sword of Omens. As you can see, the handle is actually bigger than the short version. It's bigger around and has more detail on it, as you can see. And of course the guard up here is curved upwards. You've got the Thundercats symbol on the Eye of Thundera there, and the blade is about, what's that look like, 3-4 times longer, and again painted in silver paint. So very, very nice looking Sword of Omens. I've heard a few people complain that it's made out of flexible plastic, which really doesn't bother me that much because, you know, when I got it out of the package it was straight as an arrow, so Sometimes when you have flexible accessories like these, they'll be slightly warped like that when you get them out of the package, and that is kind of a bummer. But like I said, when I got mine out, it was very, very straight. Now you're going to get a separate hand for holding the Sword of Omens, and you're going to have to squeeze it in there. It's a very, very tight fit, but once you get it in there, it's going to be held very, very nicely. And once you get all the accessories on there, you can have the possibility for lots of really good displays as far as posability and articulation goes. Alright, so I guess that about does it for the review of the 8-inch classic Lion-O figure. I really, really like this figure. It's incredibly accurate to the show. The colors are spot on, the articulation is good. He's only got I don't know. He's got a sword and a gauntlet, but then again he's got the short version and the long version of the Sword of Omens. Plus he's got extra hands, and you can store the sword and the gauntlet in different ways, so that definitely adds to the playability. Just really, really nice work on Bandai's part doing this figure. And just the fact that they went back and made these classic figures instead of just making figures for the new TV show is also a really nice treat for those of us who grew up watching Thundercats back in the 80s. Now, unfortunately, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. I do have two really small complaints about this figure. The first is that I really would have liked the inclusion of some closed fists, but then again, that's just me. The second one is a little bit more annoying. This ankle joint, for some unknown reason, they molded the ankle joint in the same color as the leg. Why on earth they didn't use blue plastic for that ankle joint, I don't know, but that's kind of bothersome from a visual standpoint. But all in all, just those two little minor complaints hardly put a dent in the really, really nice job Bandai has done on this figure. So, let's see, I forgot to mention price. This goes for about $20. I got it at Toys R Us for that price. And Toys R Us is the only place I've seen these for sale. Hopefully they'll make it into the retail stores like Walmart and Target and Kmart and places like that. But so far I've only seen them at Toys R Us. So, I guess that about does it for this figure. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.